Hello, my name is Gabers, and welcome to the lore of New Eden. The stuff I will be covering can be found in the lore PDF that the developers have made. First off is the general overview of the world of New Eden. We find ourselves in Astaria, the beautiful but fearsome world of high fantasy and gritty science fiction, which is none other than our very own home planet of Earth, thousands of years after a cataclysmic event of apocalyptic proportions. Knowing their destruction was imminent, scattered groups across the planet went deep underground to escape unlivable conditions and otherworldly conflict. For generations, the remnants of humanity learned to live in huddled groups deep below the Earth's surface. Much of the old ways had been lost by the time humankind emerged from the dark and found themselves in what seemed to be a whole new world. During the centuries the human race spent underground, the natural forces of the planet evolved considerably. Animals, insects, plant life, and even the weather became dangerous, powerful and unpredictable, sometimes even displaying a degree of sentience that rivaled the human mind. Much of Astaria remains impossible to colonize due to these natural dangers, which increase in intensity as one travels closer to the Shadow Belt, a strange storm barrier that surrounds Astaria on all sides. For many Astarian people, this expansion of the power of nature came with their ability to harness magical powers. Sorcery, alchemy, necromancy, manipulation of matter and energy. It seemed a fair trade, being granted new tools to cope with the inhospitable world. Some, however, weren't so lucky. Even through 100 generations, a portion of Astaria's population remains disconnected from this elemental power. For them, ancient technology salvaged from the ruins of the forebears, the original inhabitants of Earth, is the key to survival. This being the case, there are those who believe these unconnected people have no right to the many wonders and limited resources of Astaria. This concludes the general overview of the world of New Eden. Now I'll recite the beginning of the story, starting from when the player first opens their eyes. The player character wakes up from a strange pod in a place called the Garden, located roughly 75 miles beyond the Shadow Belt, finding their memory to be blank. The Garden is filled with many violent creatures, and the player has no choice but to fight and explore their way forward as they try to recover the secrets of their heritage and any life they may have had before this. It is stated that all players are unique individuals born into this garden under the same circumstances, and each seem to possess fighting talent and elemental connection surpassing the average Astarian. The decision to seek out the truth of their origins or to make a life for themselves in Astaria is theirs. As the player makes their way through the world of Astaria, they will come into contact with several mysterious crystals littered throughout its lands. These crystals are known as dream shards, and in the likely event that the player is slain, they will find themselves resurrected beside the last dream shard they have encountered. While the player character is aware of these resurrections within the game world, it is unclear whether they are a product of true divine immortality or a time loop all those born from the Garden seem to be trapped within. Prana, the primordial life force from which all things emanate, gathers in the player's body as they experience challenges in the world. The dream shards are ripe with pranic energy, and the player can meditate in their vicinity in order to concentrate this gathered prana and expand their strength and ability. They must be careful, however, for immortality bears a high pranic cost, and all unconcentrated prana will be lost in the event of the player's death. Of course, as the mysteries of the dream shards are unlocked, ways of retrieving all this lost prana may yet present themselves. Next, I'll be going over the magic of this world. A magical power certain beings in Astaria were able to harness is referred to as elemental connection, and has been categorized as such by Astarian scientists. The proper words for magical and unmagical beings are elementals and naturals, though various pejoratives are often employed by both groups against the other. Elemental connection has influenced every part of Astarian culture, from religion, science, and politics, down to the daily lives of ordinary citizens. Fire, or Agni, pyromancy and fire spells, but also associated with the things like passion, willpower, food preparation, light, sight, and heat. An unexpected use of Agni connection might come in the form of a stamina potion. Water, or Varuna, the conjuring and manipulation of water, but also associated with things like fluidity, movement, direction, and temperance. An unexpected use of Varuna connection might be a skill in martial arts. Earth, or Prithvi, prevalent in poison spells, but also associated with things like strength, determination, attention, math, and ice. Certain groups in Astaria have harnessed a Prithvi connection to manipulate solid matter and achieve a kind of telekinesis. Air, or Vayu, manipulation of wind and weather, but also associated with things like aloofness, clear thinking, adaptability, and abundance. The intelligence and empathy displayed by the people of Norogale may be due to their collective value connection. And finally, space, or Akash, the most mysterious of the elements. The Shadow Belt is the home of Akash, and few possess a powerful connection to it. Its true potential is unknown, but it is theorized that Akash has power over all other elements. That is all the magic that can be found in New Eden. New Eden, at the moment, is in its early stages, being described specifically as a pre-alpha. More is to come in the future. Okay, that's it.